Good weekend. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your weekend edition of your metals market update. And this is for August 16th, Friday, 2019. And time doesn't matter. We're at the settlement prices that I'm cared about, and they're not here. You're down about another 80 cents or so in the gold on the settlement. The silver a little bit lower than this too. Copper's actually a fraction higher, just over 260. Stock market been languishing here all day, but it is holding a gain with the dollar very much near unchanged. Not much going on in most of the currencies. They're just back and forward today. Now, if we take a look at the monthly chart, and that's what we first do on this, we look at one monthly, then we're going to go to weekly charts. This is a breakout of this sideways action. And this sideways action goes back into the 2015-16 time frame. So it's got quite a base under it, and that's what you call this, a base. A warning sign that something's going amiss would be taking out 1266 again. But anywhere between staying over the upper bands and coming back to the 100-week average, nothing. That's normal. You have spent now, and you are over the band, as you can see this week. You gained another 5.79% on the month so far. The month before, you were up 0.88, and the month before that, you were up about 8%. So the market has got a string of gains. That's not very bad. And I wouldn't be surprised if it does some sideways action here after a little trade. When we come to just an area chart of closes on a weekly basis, Friday to Friday basically, you've moved up very nicely. You're now at 1508.60, let's say, and the market has come from the 1275 level. When we take a look at just the bar chart of a week at a time, you can see that the pattern is bullish. You've got higher lows. This is a swing line study and a higher high. What a swing line study does is it'll look at the current bar in relation to the bar before. And I have a set of rules as to how the indicator draws itself. It's in my charting course if you ever want to learn more about that. When you go to our website, go to Ira's charting course. But it explains a lot that's going on within the course itself. You're over all the key moving averages, which is bullish for the market. You've got the 18-week over the 100 over the 200 lined up as bull markets do. And it's the shorter over the medium term over the longer term. In terms of resistance, well, this job has done what it's supposed to. It's called a Bollinger Band. You'll trade 95% of the time between the black bands. And market gets over, pulls back under. Think of this as an objective in the market. Now, when you first come out of the gate from sideways action, you can spend more time getting right out of there and up rather strongly, but inevitably you consolidate along phases. And that's exactly what this market might do here. Because it's a bit ahead of itself, it might decide to correct a little bit into the phase. As we take slow stochastics, which is a momentum of price, you can see what it's doing. It just stays right where it's at, pointing upward. So you've got momentum up. The trend up is defined by the swing line. You can certainly see the trend is up. And when market's over the 18-week average, I say the bias is up. When I come to the ETF GLD, it's the same pattern. Higher lows, higher highs, came from sideways action, bias up. Still through here. You can consolidate at any point, and I don't expect that in a good bull it's going to quickly get back under the 132.30 area. So that's a number I'd be watching. GDX, it's a bit of a laggard here. If you go to the daily chart, you understand it's the only one that pulled back to the 18-day average of closes of GLD or the futures, but that's all right. Typically in a bull market, they all move together. Higher lows, higher highs still. The resistance, the upper Bollinger Band, black dashed line, the momentum still pointing up. The gold-silver ratio. The ratio got out to 93.85, pulled back, came back up on the weekly chart, challenged that line in the sand, that 18-week average, and it's backing off one more time. That's bullish for the silver versus the gold. The silver market, I think, is a bit ahead of itself right here. And I say that because I've now got 5 weeks in a row over the upper Bollinger Band. That's really stretching it. Go back, do your counts, you'll see what I'm saying. That does not mean it has to collapse. This band, the way the math is going to work in the settlement, is going to still move up this coming week, but prices can drift sideways to get back under it. I think they'll get back under it sooner rather than later. In the copper market, all we did, we had a bear market rally, we had a big break, got a rally. The resistance should be the 18-week average of closes. I'll call that the line in the sand. The market is stalled out from there, and I think you could agree. If the market has another leg to the downside here, look for the lower Bollinger Band to be hit, with resistance still the 18-week average. Momentum still down. In the platinum market, what this market did is it started one of those rallies like we've seen in the others, like copper, went, challenged the 18-week average, came back, there you are. If you can get and mount the rally further, then if there's another moving average or the Bollinger Band, the closest of it is your first target. Market went to the 100-week average, trend up, bias up. Support now becomes what was resistance, the 18-week average, and that's pretty much what this market has done. The trend of the market, well, you're finishing out here at 851, so you're closing over that 18-week average. Bias up, trend up with higher lows, higher highs. Resistance again come into play, the 100-week average with support right where you're at. In the palladium market, a little different pattern. You've had this pattern of lower highs, lower lows. You're not seeing that on the other charts. And it went back to its line in the sand for 3 weeks now, and it's just sort of holding it. The market did manage to get a settlement up and over that 18-week average, so the bias is up, the trend is down, and momentum sort of flat right here. Market's not giving us a heck of a story. In the dollar index, each time this market has recently hit on the weekly chart, the upper Bollinger Band, it's pulled back and often pulled back to the 100-week average. So are we going to get there and see that again? That's the question we're all going to be asking. Trend up, bias up, and obviously momentum up. So everything on that side. You know, one of the things I try to do for you in the mornings is I put out a video. And in that video, it's very different than this. I can say, buy here, sell there, do this, do that. And I do. The video, I start typically recording at 5:30 a.m. I have it out before 7 a.m., before all the breaking U.S. government reports. Sometimes it's out 6:30. I record, then I render it and put it out onto the web for you. You can only see it if you're a paid subscriber. It's not available anywhere else. And this is the website. But something else. With it, I make life easy. With each subscription, I give one of our phone apps. Now, whether you have a smartphone, an Android, it won't matter. The app is the app. It'll play on both. And what it does is quotes, charts, news. All my videos will play my subscriber video, but here's how they work. I use push notification, not text, so you're not paying for anything out of that. The push comes in, you hit the message, it'll open up the app for you, play my subscriber video, away you go. If you take my full research, when I put out my written research, same things happen. So these apps, they're $40 a month, free to you, no charge at all. $7.95 for 30 days of my morning subscriber video. After that, it moves to $15 each 30 day, or what a lot of people do is they'll buy a year. $156, now they own it for the year. Your call. But if you'd like to learn more, just go to our website. I think you'll see we have a whole new look to the front page of the website and how you do these things. But inside of the site, under Education or Research, Ira's Morning Subscriber Video, just click on it, tells you all about it, and you sign up for it right there. I'm Ira Epstein. Have a great weekend. I'll see you come Monday.